Do you remember that deep dive we did on insulation, Thinsulate versus wool? Today's video is the exact opposite. We're gonna go off the rails and have some fun with insulation, Florida man style. What could possibly go wrong? Are you here for information like facts and details? Then definitely watch that other video, the boring one. That's got you covered. In today's video, we're gonna be putting these insulations through their paces. Stand by and buckle your seatbelts for the weirdest van life video you've ever seen. Well, hello and welcome to the Mad Van Laboratory, where we put products to the test to see if they're worthy of making it into the Vanlife Outfitters catalog. Fireworks test. Since it was the 4th of July, here in Sarasota, we figured it would be a good first test to see if there was something like an electrical short inside your walls. Like a really major one. And what would be the most outrageous way to simulate the arc of a wire catching on fire? Roman candle fireworks, of course. So that's where we'll begin, for you and for America. The fire test. So the insulation is solid, but what if that electrical short caught something else on fire? Perhaps your wall panels. Would the insulation also go up in flame? Remember, safety first. You should have a fire extinguisher as well as smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in your van. And never do what we're doing. Well, this was a job for our travel-size flamethrower. Great for cooking steaks, Halloween, and this. Remarkably, the Thinsulate just completely disappears and doesn't even produce smoke. It melts away and it never ignites. The wool also doesn't catch on fire, but it smokes badly, and since it doesn't melt away, it gets very warm and kind of charred. The water test. In this test, we wanted to see just how hydrophobic each material is. Yes, that's right, we're learning fancy words in the middle of this ridiculous video. How much water will the material soak up? How hydrophobic is it? Van lifing, especially when it's cold outside, or you're a road chef, creates a lot of condensation inside your rig. Over the course of a night, a person can produce between a half a liter to a liter of moisture into the air. Since it's colder outside than inside, that moisture tends to collect on the interior walls of the van, which is exactly where the insulation is. Hot diggity dog! So you can see how a material that collects instead of repels water would be a conducive environment for mold or mildew to thrive. But breathing isn't gonna cut it for this video. We're heading to the beach. The wool became flooded with water nearly immediately, at which point it began to disintegrate and sink. It also created a truly awful smell. Imagine a locker room filled with filthy barnyard animals. Honestly, The wool smells like a sheep on a good day when it's dry, but wet sheep is a whole nother animal. Meanwhile, the Thinsulate remained fluffy and buoyant. One could make a raft out of Thinsulate, and exposure to water did not make it smell at all. Thinsulate is a real pleasure at the playa. The fall test. In this test, we're going to see just what would happen if you maybe fell out of a second-story building wrapped in Thinsulate. It is quite soft and fluffy after all. Will the Thinsulate break your fall? For this test, we have enlisted our Vanlife Outfitters t-shirt mannequin, Althea. Thinsulate is definitely not suitable for breaking a fall. It didn't seem to help at all. Lessons learned, don't fall off buildings. Be careful out there for heaven's sake. I present to you a piece of sheet metal, much like you would find in a camper van on the wall, prior to the application of 3M Thinsulate SM600. And now we will test it after the application of the Thinsulate. You can use this time to remove any detritus that may have settled on your Thinsulate before the application to the panel. And now we shall present the sound after the deadening of the 3M Thinsulate. Considerably better. Crickets. What happened to the Van Halen? Thinsulate happened to the Van Halen. The bullet test. Finally, will Thinsulate stop a bullet? For maximum safety, we will put Josh behind a piece of both Thinsulate and wool, and then we will shoot at each insulation with a 9mm Glock handgun. Any last words, Josh?
Wait, I didn't agree to this. Why can't we just use Althea?
Don't worry about it.
Wait, Zach.
I don't know why you're always worrying about everything so much.
Can we talk about this?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.